of you would take a drug that has not been regulated or tested to improve symptoms of certain conditions? Marijuana now has been made legalized for medical use in 16 states and DC, but it did not go through the rigorous testing and approval that every other prescription medication has to go through the FDA. So is it safe? Do we know that it's going to mitigate symptoms of certain conditions and not cause sufficient harm? Would you give it to your children? I don't think so. And I don't think that marijuana should be legal for medical or recreational use. And if it is going to be legal for medical use, then it should go through all the same rigorous testing and approval processes that other prescription medication has to go through, and should be regulated that way in how it is given to patients. So I'm going to outline a few reasons to you why I think medical marijuana should not be legal, and why the slight therapeutic effects of it aren't worth the risk that you're taking in taking it. So first, proof of play is the impact that marijuana has on your body as you take it. So there are some harmful risks in taking it on your mind. First, it impairs, when you initially take it, it impairs your motor skills, your sensory coordination, your reaction time, impairs driving, when people on the road while they're on marijuana. I don't think so. Also, it affects the sensory learning memory part of your brain, and it shows in research that long-term use can affect how much information you can retain and absorb. In addition to that, it has effects on your body that are harmful. Smoking, all the effects of smoking, studies have shown that you can get a nagging cough. You're more likely to get chest colds, pneumonia. You can get chronic bronchitis. And in addition to that, it also can affect your hormone levels in men and women. So is the small therapeutic effects of it worth the risk that you have when you're taking it on your body? And in addition to those, there is also a risk of addiction. Now, almost 300,000 Americans in 2004 sought treatment for addiction, citing marijuana as the primary substance that was used. Also, the element THC, that is the most influential element in marijuana, is what creates generally that psychological addiction that people have to it, and it is 7 times greater generally now in marijuana now than it was in the 1980s. So we are producing more powerful marijuana, which in addition to being more harmful to people and more psychologically addictive. So in addition to those things, when people approve marijuana for medical use, they're sending a message to teens that it's okay to smoke. Marijuana use rose in the 1990s among teens, and in the 1990s, 1998 actually, was in the first state legalized it for medical use. And from 1992, 12% of high school seniors said that they used, and in 1999, 26% of them. So it almost doubled. It did double, I guess. It did double. And then also, it's shown that when students think that marijuana isn't harmful, use increases. So is the small therapeutic effects of marijuana worth the risk we're taking in probably increasing teen use of it? In addition to that, it divides state and federal law enforcement. So federally, marijuana is still illegal, even if you have, let's say, an Oregon medical marijuana card. So it divides state and law. And how is our federal and state law enforcement supposed to work peacefully together if our laws don't match up? So, I mean, in Oregon, if you have an OMMP card, you can legally have 24 ounces of weed on you, 24 marijuana plants, between 6 mature and 12 immature. But let's say in Louisiana, if you are caught with maybe under an ounce of marijuana, you can go to prison for up to 20 years. So where do we draw the line? How is it okay to have a medical card for this substance in one state and then get caught with it in another state and have to serve for years. In addition to that, from state to state where it's legal for medical use, the regulation doesn't even line up. In Colorado, you can only have 2 ounces, and you can only have 6 plants, 3 mature and 3 immature, and then, like I said, in Oregon, 24 ounces is normal. So this brings into question the testing that was done for it. How much is needed for each patient? And if they're growing their own plants, does this mean that they're self-prescribing the medication? And this just creates a lot of room for abuse of the substance. A substance has already been abused and being abused now. So when do physicians, all you need to get known to chart is a physician saying that it may mitigate your symptoms. So, and then after your card, you can grow your own plants and things like that. So if you're growing your own plants, does that mean that you're deciding how much you're taking at once? So does the physician rightly know how much is harmful and how much isn't harmful? We don't know because there has not been any research done on it. So really what I'm getting at is that right now this substance is legal when it was not tested and it is not being carefully regulated through the states that are legalizing it. In addition to that, it will just probably increase teen use the more that the government says that it's okay for medical reasons, and it creates a divide between state and federal law enforcement. So it creates, this clash, and we're all trying to work together to prevent harmful substances from getting out. And really, the therapeutic effects are unproven. If there are any, they're mild when there are already other medications in place that can help with symptoms for conditions. And it's unnecessary to legalize a drug that is potentially harmful to people and isn't being regulated and tested properly the way that other prescription medications are being tested. So that is why I think that marijuana should not be legalized for medical or recreational use. And like I said, if it is going to be legalized for medical use, it should have to go through the same processing as every other prescription medication, if it's going to be another prescription medication.